Hi guys, Robert46 here, welcome yourselves back to Ride 5. Now, the other day I was contacted by SD Productions on Instagram, inviting me to Wildcard in their Ride 5 Supersport League. I said yes. I mean, I haven't raced in leagues for a very, very long time. I retired from that venture quite a few years ago, and then just concentrated on running my own leagues rather than trying to race them at the same time. So yeah, I haven't raced in a league for many, many years. As I said, I retired from that, but I came out of retirement for one night only, and as you can see, it is around Mugello. Now, I am using the Honda CBR 600RR, the HRC Special. Now, in time trial, everything was fine. Rider was hanging off the bike and leaning as normal. And as soon as I took to this lobby, I think it's just races in general, my rider looked like he was sat on a metal rod and just would not hang off the bike. So, yeah, it's annoying to see. Believe me, it was annoying to race like this, but it didn't affect how the bike was actually leaning. It just looked really bizarre. Was a bit off-putting to begin with, so took some getting used to, but yeah, it's still a bug in the game. They did say they fixed it, but I think they literally just fixed it for time trial rather than actual races. So yeah, this is qualifying for the sprint race. So we have 10 minutes qualifying first, and then a sprint race, and then another 10 minutes qualifying session, and then the main race. So I kind of knew what my pace was. I know I could do low 150s. So I was just doing some laps and trying to be by myself on track. I know some people were looking for toes down the start-finish straight. Some people were trying to do it by themselves as well. I managed to put in a 50.6 as my first flying lap, which isn't too bad. That put me on provisional pole to begin with. Yeah, so on to my next lap now, and yeah, I managed to get the Honda set up really well, especially for the start-finish straight. I managed to get it singing down that straight, got the gear in pretty spot on, and yeah, knew that I, could be pretty quick. I didn't really know what to expect. Like I said, I haven't raced competitively for a number of years, but I would have been happy with, top 4, maybe a podium. I was looking at some of the other guys' times on the leaderboards. I knew that gamer Jamie is very, very quick. So I know I had to look out for him. Luke as well. He has raced in some of my previous leagues, so I know he's a quick rider as well. So yeah, I knew that those two were going to be particularly quick. I haven't really raced against anyone else, I don't think, in this league before, so I didn't really know what to expect from them. But yeah, SD Productions has put together a good league and runs some good leagues, and I'll put his Instagram link in the description if you want to go and check that out, and his Twitch channel as well, so you can go check them out. So on this lap, onto the start finish again. We did do a little 3-lap warm-up race just to make sure everyone's liveries and everything was working. Just managed to put in a 51.0, so not a good lap, that one. And yeah, the 3-lap race did not go well for me. I hit some invisible riders and crashed, I think, about 3 times due to lag, so I was a little bit wary about that as well. So yeah, collisions are on. Obviously, you've noticed by now using Rossi colours for this this race. And yeah, I felt comfortable in the Honda. I did not know it was going to make my rider do the weird non-leaning thing. Because like I said, in time trial, absolutely fine. Riders are leaning off as they should be, but yeah, as soon as we started into a race and a lobby and that, he didn't want to move. So, looks weird, but yeah, 0.3 under at the moment for Arrabbiata 2. I know which parts of the track I needed to look out for. Obviously plenty of crashes in time trial, experimenting with different lines, especially the final corner, trying to get the best run onto the start-finish straight and carry as much speed onto that straight. Yeah, currently sat on provisional pole still, and that was with a 150.686. Yeah, currently 0.2 under my own time at the moment. And then into the final corner, again taking quite a wide line just to try and square it off. So Gamer Jamie is just in a 150.494 to take provisional pole. And then end of my lap, I managed to put in a 150.359. And I knew that was going to be a pretty decent lap, but I didn't know whether Jamie would be able to go any quicker. So I was kind of setting off on this lap, expecting that to be beaten my time. Obviously trying to improve myself, but yeah, it wasn't too far off in the first sector. Bit of traffic up ahead. I do pull out the way, so managed to get past them absolutely fine. Messed up Casanova, went in too deep. And I thought, nah, I'm going to pull off here and go back to the pit and give it maybe one last go. So, yeah, just looking at the times, still on provisional pole as it stands. You definitely couldn't miss me in those colours, that's for sure. Got Rossi's Nastra Azzurra testing livery on the bike. And then there's Nastra Azzurra leathers and a replica helmet as well. Although it does look a bit funny because the leathers are actually Alpine stars and not darn easy, but it's fine. It's fine. Still looks good. So yeah, less than 2 minutes to go. Still on provisional pole. Turn 1. I loved it in turn 1, especially kicking the rear of the bike out. But yeah, so I was surprised at how much I got on with the Honda. I know it's not necessarily the best bike in class, but I wanted to use a different bike. There's quite a lot of R6s, there's a few Triumphs, a couple of Suzukis as well. So I thought I'd go for something that no one's really using. There may have been one other Honda actually. You see someone ahead of me lagging a bit. That is something that scared me a bit just because, oh yeah, there we go, hit the inside curb through Arrabbiata 2. Literally forgot about that crash, and because I didn't have anti-wheelie on, obviously it took me a while to get going. But yeah, less than a minute to go, and obviously this lap was done. I wouldn't have had enough time to do any more laps, so I was just finishing off this lap, but lost the front again. So I did decide to opt for a medium front and a soft rear. That is what I was quickest with in time trial when I was doing all my laps, and felt more comfortable with that medium rear, medium front, soft rear combo. So time are going down to 0 very, very soon. There it goes. So yeah, now there's a 40-second countdown until the end of the session. Obviously, if you're on a live lap and it counts down to 0 and you haven't finished your lap, that's it. You don't get to finish. So yeah, I knew I didn't have a chance to do any more laps. So that was me done with a 50.359. Like I said, felt pretty good on the Honda, and yeah, just waiting for the session to end. Very close between the top 3. So that is how it ended. Me on pole, Gamer Jamie in second, Luke Sparky in third. So we were all in the 150s, and then people into the 151s and the 152s. But yeah, that gave me a bit of confidence, because like I said, I didn't really know what to expect. Didn't know how competitive I was going to be. Thought, what if I end up being dead last? But luckily, we managed to set pole for the sprint race. So yeah, over the moon with that. Things were looking good. Obviously, we just got to negotiate the sprint race. So, pole position, ready to go. Happy days. So, the race is about to begin very shortly. Again, I went for the medium front soft rear combo. Tyre wear is on. I did put anti-wheelie on too, just for the start. And then I do turn it off because I was finding when I was doing practice starts, trying to keep the front end down of the Honda was quite difficult. And I didn't have the best of starts anyway. So you see that, straight down to 0. Now, run down to turn 1 in about 4th place. Then on the brakes into turn 1, and then got hit by someone who then hit Jamie and then went down. Now, remember that incident, because that is going to rear its ugly head later on. So, I dropped down to 6th, tried to sneak through on the curb there, and did manage to get through a few people on the grass and the green. Messed up that corner, going in a little bit too hot. Trying to keep position, people chopping and changing through Casanova down to Savelli. Luke Sparky currently in the lead, and then trying to go around the outside of Gamer Jamie, hit him a couple of times on the back, and then drop back a little bit there, and then got overtaken there. That forced me out onto the green, gave me a little penalty as well, but nothing really too major. I'll break myself there because I nearly went into the back of 5th place and then dropped down to 7th place. And then trying to get through here. I did have a good run, but because they were in the way I had to back off and lost another position. And then I don't know what happened there. I didn't actually feel a hit there. I don't know whether maybe on their screen they did hit me and went down, or whether they crashed before they got to me. I don't know, but managed to make up 1 position through the Biondetti S's. And into the final corner, got out-braked and forced wide, but I didn't mind the wide high line because it meant I could cut back and we could open up the Honda. And you see what I mean by we had her singing down the straight into the slipstream as well. We just managed to make up a lot of time. And then again, look how much time we're making up on 5th place there on Mason. I was pretty decent on the brakes into turn 1. Couldn't quite get underneath Mason through turn 1. I was trying to be careful as well with my overtaking. Managed to get a good run there and up back into 5th place. See the 2 at the front were 3 at the front even. I couldn't see Luke there, he was hidden. Starting to break away from it's now 2 at the front because one of the people just disconnected, unfortunately. So yeah, we're now on 4th. That's the thing, Ride 5 is still very unstable online. So yeah, I know I could get into 3rd, but I needed to get through relatively quickly, as quick as I could. And then yeah, just straight into the back of them. Took me by surprise, I wasn't expecting to close in that quickly. So I thought, right, we really need to pick our moment here to get past. He went a bit wide, I followed him wide. Luke Sparky in 2nd at the moment, Gamer Jamie in the lead. through the Beyond SESs again. I thought, right, the straight, I know I'm strong on the straight, especially with the aid of slipstream as well. So again, took the wide, high line, got the cut back, got on the throttle early, and then started to get into the slipstream. Closing, and then past we go, and that was third place. Would I be outbraked into turn 1? No, we had turn 1 sorted, a bit wide, but that's fine. We were fine. Gamer Jamie went down there. I think he had a bit of contact with Luke. So that was me up to second. So Luke Sparky leads at the moment, myself in second, Donahue in third. So only 6 laps in the sprint race. And I managed to recover to second position. I thought, could I close in on Luke? The gap about 1 second at the moment. Hadn't really put in a decent time at the moment, only a 50.8. So going by my qualifying time, definitely had some time in the locker. It was just trying to find the right lines and try and closing a little bit there, but then pulled a bit of a wheelie. That lost me a little bit of time, and the gap went back up to 1 second. Again, wide there, but I didn't mind taking the wide lines as long as no one was directly behind me. Because if they were, they could have obviously just shoved up the inside and done a block pass on me. Yeah, the gap was growing. And I wasn't close enough. Luke using the wide line as well. I wasn't close enough to obviously utilise slipstream. I had a 1 second gap behind to Donahue. So basically the gap behind and in front was pretty much identical. And I was starting to just drift into no man's land where it was going to be a fairly lonely end to the race. But I thought, I'm going to keep pushing. We've still got a few laps to go. Who knows what could happen. The soft rear tyre wasn't too bad actually. 52% left at the moment, 65% of the medium front. No traction control. Literally the only electronics I'm using is engine braking on 4. I did use engine braking on 3 for a lot of the time in time trial, but it was just trying to get the last bit of the corner tightened. So I put up to 4 and found that helped a little bit with my lines, which then obviously helped bring my lap times down. So again, the gap pretty consistent. Obviously, yes, we do have that very, very minute time penalty of 0.025 of a second, so nothing basically. It's quite deceiving through some of the corners because it looks like you're closing in when in fact you're not. It's just the nature of the corner. But yeah, the gap was nearly up to 2 seconds now. So 1.5, it was 1.7 just a minute ago, 1.6. I mean, at this stage I was thinking, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to catch Luke now. I haven't really got much left to give. Mason back in third, 2.5 seconds behind. But I'll just try and keep a decent pace with my laps. You never know what could happen. Maybe Luke would struggle with tyres or something, or make a mistake. I went a little bit deep there. That allowed me to close in a little bit. So the gap had come down. And that was my quickest first section for a little while. I did go a bit wide through Matarassi. But yeah, every time that the gap came down, it then went back up. So So through Arrabbiata 1, I knew to stay away from the inside curb there. Then through Arrabbiata 2, Luke went on the inside curb there and he went down, which then promoted me up into the lead. So I was now in the lead from Mason in second, nearly 3 seconds behind now, and Luke Sparky had dropped down to third with that crash at the lead. I'd done the same thing in time trial and qualifying actually, where just clipping that inside or taking a bit too much curb on the inside of Arrabbiata 2, and yeah, the front just washes out. So now we had literally one more lap to go, and if I could just do another semi-decent lap, then the win would be there for the taking. Obviously didn't want to make any silly mistakes. So 51.1, not a great lap, but still competitive enough. Luke was back up to second place. But again, with our pace being quite similar in this race, unless I did anything stupid, which could happen, you never know. Might clip a curb or something. Or just completely outbrake myself. But even with the rear tyre on 32%, still felt pretty good, wasn't spinning up or sliding too much. Still getting pretty decent grip. So like I said, one of the places to look out for, especially with the inside curve, is Arrabbiata 1. Even just clipping the inside curve there spells disaster. Try not to touch the curb on the inside through Arrabbiata 2. This is obviously an easy place where you can lose the front, but we were fine. So just a few corners to go. So just through the Beyond ETSs for the last time in this race. And then just the final corner to negotiate. Again, the wide line. And yeah, we were going to win our first sprint race, our wildcard. So very happy with that. We got the win, and we got the win by just over 3 seconds. Fastest lap went to Jamie, a 150.3. But I think that he might have been given a penalty on that lap, because that does change. And so do the results, because I was given a 5-second penalty for what happened at turn 1. You see that Jamie's best lap time was changed to a 50.5. But yeah, 5-second lap penalty, a second penalty. So I dropped from first to third. This is the incident again. I'm on my line, turning in. I get hit by someone who then hits someone else and then goes down. And this is it, slowed down to half speed. So it's not like I'm just barreling into turn 1, taking someone's line. I'm in front. And then I get hit, they turn in on me. Then they hit Gamer Jamie and they go down. Now, the race director is someone different. And I believe that they were given training by Freddie Spencer by the seams of it. So I did send a video clip and appealed it, but at time of recording I've not heard anything. So I still think that penalty was, yeah, not justified at all. That was not my doing that crash. I know it's difficult, especially when you're watching it live and maybe just seeing it from one camera angle. I did send my perspective in, what you guys just saw, and yeah, definitely not a penalty. That was definitely a racing incident. So yeah, this is qualifying for the main race. So in the sprint qualifying, I did a 150.3. I struggled in this qualifying a bit, probably because I was annoyed with what happened with my penalty. So yeah, that just annoyed me a bit. And at the beginning of this session, you saw people slowing down on that, just trying to find an empty bit of track. I was coming up on Dylan here. I went a bit deep into Casanova. So obviously got to try and make a pass whilst trying to do a good lap as well and trying to pick a decent place to pass. It was a little bit wide there, so I managed to get a good run there, and then thought, well, I'm going to just have to send it up the inside. And on the brakes we did manage to make that pass stick. Maybe not the best line lap time wise, but I was through. And yeah, still rider not leaning. So yeah, definitely didn't feel that comfortable on this lap. Same bike setup as before, same tyre combination of medium and a soft. Now I was lucky there that Dylan didn't actually shove up the inside through that final corner, because I did go very, very wide. Provisional pole, Luke Sparky, 50.9. Yeah, 51.0, so not a great lap time from me, just provisionally second at the moment. So I knew, obviously, a lot of time still to come. Gamer Jamie, he put in a 50.6. I was like, okay, if I can do a 50.3 again, then, I mean, that would be ideal. So, wasn't looking good in sector 1, a 10th of a second off. And there's a couple of people up ahead, but, you know, they're not that close. So, I didn't think they were going to get in the way. Someone did go off track and then into the gravel, but they got out of the way, so that was fine. No real issues. Major front end issue there. Lost the front multiple times, but somehow kept it going. Managed to gain a 10th of a second. I don't know how the hell I stayed on. That was a big moment. And yeah, that was again just clipping the inside curb. Just really unsettled the bike. I thought, it's qualifying. If I go down, I go down. I just have to restart my my lap. So through the Beyond SES's. 0.4 under my own time. So again, maybe looking at a 150.6. Luke just spawned there but got out of the way. Then he was using my slipstream to start his next lap. And I put in a 50.6 as well. It's a fraction quicker than Jamie. And then Luke sent up the inside of me into turn 1. He went down and I went off track. So yeah, that was qualifying. I couldn't go any quicker. Jamie did a 50.5, so pace was slower in qualifying than it was for the sprint race, but yeah, less than a 10th behind. That was fine. The rain had come for the main race though. I had done 0 practice in the wet. All my practice was in the dry, so didn't really know what to expect. All I knew was just brake a little bit earlier than normal. So off we went. Got a decent start again. Anti-wheelie on 2, then put it down to 0. Immediately got into the lead. I thought, okay, that's fine. Where do we brake for turn 1? Let's brake a bit earlier. Luke sent it a bit wide. Gamer Jamie up the inside of me. Again, I still didn't use any traction control. That was still turned off. and I was just thinking, right, we're going to have to try and adapt now. Try and find the grip. Relearn the braking areas, but then lag happened. And that, unfortunately, is going to be the subject of this race. So, Gamer Jamie was in front of me, as you saw, and then lagged behind me, and then lagged back in front. And due to the lag, I was then hit by an invisible person. I don't know what was happening there with Mason and Scotty, but they were both very, very wide through Savelli. So that put me back up to 14th. So I had dropped down to 16th place. Someone else had gone down. Dugsy boy. So yeah, someone else had gone down as well. Joey had gone down. So that promoted me up to 13th place. Again, this is still the first lap. First of 12. So annoying because I think we could have had a good battle with Jamie in the lead. I don't actually know what happened to Jamie because he's currently not in the lead. Luke is in the lead presently. In fact, we can see Jamie about 4-5 places ahead. So I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know whether he got affected by lag as well, but yeah, here we go with the Honda slipstreaming one, slipstreaming, and then another one. Couldn't quite get Dugsy boy, but he went way too hot into turn 1, so that allowed me to go up to 10th place. So yeah, you see Jamie there currently battling with Donahue in 8th and 9th place. So on the curb, luckily I didn't spin up the rear. Yeah, already 5 seconds behind the leader. Now I was trying to get past Donahue, but obviously trying to get past as clean as possible. I thought about sending it up the inside through Casanova, but then I thought, nah, that could end badly. Someone else had crashed, someone had just lagged. So now we're up to 8th, and now we're going to send up the inside, or try to, for Arabiata 1. Didn't work. We nearly lost a position ourselves, especially for Arabiata 2, and we do. There's a good overtake there by Lumen, who then made a move on Donahue. Managed to get back up to 7th place. I then tried to get my way through as well, but couldn't quite open the door. A few people very, very wide there. So still in 9th through the Biondetti S's. A big corner cut there for Donahue. He nearly crashed, but it cost him quite a bit of time. I then try and take my wide line. Jamie very wide there. Again done it all. Yeah, so someone tried to get up the inside of me. I did set up a bit, but again they hit me and went down, and that cost me a bit of time as well. So yeah, now we're 6 seconds behind the leader, and still down in 8th place. Not close enough to outbrake, but again they went wide and went down, lost the front. So 7th place now. Jamie again making his way through the pack as well, so doing a similar thing to myself. Luke still in the lead. Closing a lot on the brakes there. Just starting to get into the swing of things in the wet now. A big moment there. I think that was a bit of lag, because I did notice that Jake Marsh was lagging a little bit, which may have caused that crash. So 6th place, see a bit of lag there. Trouble is, I didn't want to get too close because I knew what could happen. I mean, you saw what happened at the beginning of the race on lap 1. Closing a bit on the brakes there, and again a bit of lag, and then he went wide. Again, lagging. I was like, oh no, I don't want to be taken out again by lag. But right, he's gone wide. We'll get up the inside. Hopefully that'll be okay. Kept my line. And then we were through into 5th place. I thought, okay. Luke's still in the lead. 6.5 seconds up the road. So Jamie 3rd. I thought a podium would be fine. Podium would be absolutely fine. A decent recovery anyway, that's for sure. To drop down to 16th place and now to be back up to 5th. Closing in. Now this is the person who hit into me in the sprint race and then went down after hitting the back of Jamie, and then caused me to have a penalty. So I thought, right, I need to get through. I definitely need to make sure I don't take him out or anything like that. Not that I would intentionally try to take anyone down anyway. I thought I need to make it as clean as possible. Jamie was escaping. He was pulling away. I thought I need to get past soon because I want to try and challenge for the podium. But it wasn't going to be easy. The gap to Luke was just going up and up, so that was nearly 7 seconds now. I lost some time there. Closed in a bit there on the brakes. So this is only lap 4 of 12, so still a long way to go. And still a lot to happen. So the rain was not going to stop in the race. It was going to be raining the whole way through. But yeah, I was having a really good lap, nearly a whole second quicker than my previous best lap. So really getting to grips with the wet conditions. I thought, right, Honda, let's get in the slipstream, pull your weight, and we'll get through, and we should be okay. I thought, oh, and then try to get through. Ended up on the grass, wobbling a bit there, stayed on. We were momentarily through up to 4th place. Went in too hot into turn 1 though, way too hot, and then lost 4th place again. Tried to shove up the inside for turn 2, but thought better of it. So the gap to the front had kind of stabilised, but I got a much better run out there. Again, tried to go around the outside. Didn't work. I needed to get past that Triumph. I know I was stronger on the brakes, but I needed to be closer to put an attack on. Luke had crashed. I don't know if he touched the inside curb as the guy just ahead of me just did, and had a massive wobble. Through I go at Arrabbiata 2. I'm back up to 4th. So Luke had crashed out of the lead. Like I said, I don't know whether he hit the inside curb through Arrabbiata 1. It's a possibility. So he had now dropped down to 3rd. Jamie in 2nd. And Zeffy currently in the lead. He did unfortunately disconnect from the sprint race. So yeah, 6 seconds behind the leader at the moment. But we had nearly 2 seconds to make on Luke and Jamie, and I was hoping that they were going to start battling, because obviously that would then slow them down a bit and enable me to catch up. Just started to pull away from our kid in 5th place. Gap was over 1 second now. Bit of contact there between Jamie and Luke Sparky at turn 1. So the gap had come down a little bit, 1.8. So still some work to do. good first sector. 10th quicker than my previous best lap. And visibly it looked like the gap was coming down, but I mean, down to 1.5 seconds there. But then it changed so quickly. It was back up to like 1.7 and down to 1.5. There's 1.5 behind. So right, half a second quicker than my previous best lap at this point in the lap. So again, we close in on the brakes there. Scarperia wasn't really a strong point for me in the dry, but in the wet we seem to be pretty good on the brakes into there. I was thinking, right, second place could be on the cards here. We're not too far away. We're only on lap 6 of 12, just about to complete half race distance. And yeah, the gap 1.4 or 1.5 seconds to Luke and Jamie. So again, obviously Luke could use slipstream on Jamie, so that would help him open up that gap to me a little bit. My best lap there, 56.8. Good time of the race to put that one in. So now I was just trying to click off the laps and just try and reel that gap in. Thinking, you know, all it's going to take is for these two to make a couple of moves on each other, and that will bring the gap down even more. So, gap still 1.3, 1.4, changing all the time. Again, sent away from the inside curbs through Arrabbiata 1. Bit of a moment there with the front trying to fold. Again, at this point, still not using any traction control. Close in a bit more there. So, the gap just over 1 second now. Very, very wide there for both of them. That was only going to help me close in a bit more. They didn't actually lose too much time there because it gave them a good run into the S's. And again, nearly 0.4 quicker than my previous lap, which was my best lap so far. So really getting comfortable. Again, a bit of a hit there, or collision between Jamie and Luke. I thought, right. Again, they're going to use slipstream, and that's just going to help open that gap up a little bit more. So 56.3, half second quicker than my previous best lap. So yeah, we were on it at this point. Luke made a move. Jamie cut back through turn 1 to regain second position. And we were closing. We were closing. And the gap there was under 1 second. So, how long would it take me to actually really catch up to them? On lap 8 of 12, still a few laps to go. Second position is still possible. We had actually closed in by about 2 seconds on the leader. So that was down to 4.5 seconds, but you know, we would have to go literally over a second a lap quicker than them. That wasn't going to happen. So yeah, I was just concentrating on these two now. So really just 0.8. I was as close as I could get for now. But we were nearly there. Trouble is, another lap was about to be clicked off, touched the green a bit there, didn't get a penalty though. Luke going for the inside line there on Jamie. That hold them both up. This would then give Jamie the slipstream. He's already pulling alongside Luke. Obviously I'm not close enough to utilise either of their slipstreams. So Jamie still behind Luke at this point. Tyres again not too bad. Forced each other a bit wide there. We really were getting close now. Look at the difference in lines. Jamie trying to get the exit there. We were pretty much with them. Half a second. Luke up the inside through Casanova. On the inside for Savelli. Could he make it stick? This was all playing into my hands because it was really allowing me to close in on both of them. Luke wide there. And then just when I thought it was going to go my way, lag, and there we go. Down I go. Luke lagged, and that was my attempt at trying to get second place or back on the podium destroyed. So that's the second time that happened, and believe me, unfortunately, it's not the last. Jamie, something just happened to him, so he'd now dropped down to third. I don't know again whether that was lag, whether he made a mistake, not sure. But then out of here he lags and then disappears, and then I go down and my bike goes flying. And now I panicked and put it into second gear. Mason then was closing in on me. He did ask after the race why I waited for him. I was like, I wasn't waiting for you. I literally hit an invisible bike, crashed. I panicked and put it in second gear instead of first, but mainly just to try and keep the front end down. So in the space of half a lap, we went from being about 4 seconds off of the lead, but in the battle for the podium, to now down in 5th position after 2 major lag spikes. And unfortunately, with only a few laps left, there was no way I was going to be able to catch the next guy, let alone battle again for the podium. I did have a nice little battle with Mason. So we got a better run out of Arabiata too. Wasn't close enough to send up the inside through Scarperia. And again, annoying. And obviously still raw from that penalty from race 1. The undeserved penalty. But yeah, Mason was going to send up the inside with me taking the wide line. And then I was just going to use a bit of slipstream and fly past. Yeah, look how much time we lost on that previous lap. So yeah, went from what, 4 seconds to 17.7 seconds behind the leader. So this is the penultimate lap, still battling with Mason for 5th. And then he comes through, so that drops me down to 6th place. I was like, right, Robbo, get it together. Trying to find a way through. So yeah, Ride 5 does still suffer badly from lag online. I mean, the thing with the incident from the sprint race, when I used to run leagues, I always used to say to all the racers, I've only got one perspective, you know, whether you're using the TV camera or whatever, you only get to see it once and watch it back, but you don't get to change that perspective. So I always used to say to them, if you can, record the race, and then if anything does happen that either I don't see, or, you know, the camera angle that I'm using doesn't give the best view, at least you got that as a backup and a bit of evidence to put towards race direction for any penalties which may or may not be given. So yeah, one more lap to go. Could I hold off Mason for 5th place? We pulled away a little bit on the straight there. We couldn't quite stay in the slipstream. And we were actually closing in on 4th place a little bit, but 3.5 seconds in one lap? Yeah, that wasn't going to happen. So I was like, right, let's just make sure we finish in 5th. And I think Mason just made a mistake, because he's not only dropped from 5th, he's dropped further down the order, and now 6th place is 2 seconds behind. So yeah, it was a I don't know whether he went off track or whether he crashed, I'm not sure. But yeah, 5th place it was going to be, unfortunately. It's annoying because I think we could have definitely fought for the podium. Well, I knew we could have fought for the podium because we were just about to fight for the podium before the second lag spike kicked in. Oh well, that's life. Unfortunately, that's what the servers are like on Ride 5. It's not just Ride 5, it's other milestone games as well. Big lag spike there for 4th place. We had actually closed in a bit, down to just under 3 seconds. Obviously too little too late. Zeffy had crossed the finish line and started the countdown. So yeah, first in the first race, demoted to 3rd, and then 5th place in the second race. However, I did end up having the fastest lap of the race in the main race by quite a nice margin as well, actually, about 0.4 of a second. So that's something, I guess. You don't really get points for fastest laps, but is what it is. So yeah, that was my experience in SD Projects Racing League. It's a good league. It's just obviously issues with the game itself and my penalty, which is still pending. But other than that, yeah, thank you SD Productions for inviting me. Thanks to all the guys that I raced with. It was nice to race you all, and yeah, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like, and I shall see you guys next time. See you!